Hey, welcome back to Close Look. I am literally sitting on a hot car, not because it's a Viper, but the sun beaming on it. It is a hot black car right now, and I'm with the owner of Overseas Autobody, Simran.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing fantastic. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Today's a special day. We'll get into that because there's like a barbecue and a tent and all kinds of stuff happening here. We'll get into the special day. But what is your background? What did you take in school?
Well, actually, I went to school. I actually went to England for school. I actually went to do law. Okay. Yeah, I went to go do my LLB, but I was there for about a year, and I came back, and in the summer times I was working with Dad all the time, and ever since I was young, I was working with my dad. So what happened was, I went right after high school. I went to law school, and my dad's like, "Well, if this is what you want to do, go ahead, right? I'll support you." Came back, and I kind of gave it some good thought, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to really be here. I think I'd rather, really, my passion's for cars, right? So I'd rather be doing something that I like.
And did you practice law at all?
No, I didn't practice at all, actually. I did my first year of my LLB and then came back,
Okay, did some soul searching, found out what your real passion was, and how could you go wrong with having your own hours sort of set and working along with your dad?
Exactly, yeah. So, it was kind of a given, right? So
your dad is the owner of Overseas Autobody, and you have partnered with him and work along with him. For people that don't know what Overseas Autobody is, what is it exactly?
So Overseas Autobody, we've been repairing cars since 1989.
Okay.
So my dad started it back in 1989, so I was about 2 years old when he started the business. And ever since then, he's just been working really hard, and he just grew it to what you guys see behind you now, right? So, up until a couple of years ago, my dad was really active in the business. But he's kind of, taking it easy now. He's kind of, he's kind of wanted to retire for so long, right?
Yeah.
So
he's wanting to maybe hand over the reins.
Exactly. So, I got a couple good guys with me, and, I've had a couple good friends with me that have stuck by my side. So, I took the keys over from them, and I've just been running it ever since.
Yeah. And your experience of taking over the business in that way, what would you say is some of the challenges that you've faced?
For sure, definitely a lot of expectations from my dad and from customers, from my employees, because you're thrown in this pit, right? And then you're expected to do so much. And
you never studied business.
No, I never studied business, right? So I never even studied this trade, right? So, it was all hands-on learning. And, I loved it. And that's why I stuck through it and I got through it. But, it was just like being thrown in a black pen. It's just like, there you go, right? Like, here's a book, have some fun, right?
Yeah.
So, I had awesome support from my parents, awesome support from my friends, and it's just made me grow.
And watching your dad since you were 2 years old, you obviously admired what he did. And did you ever think when you were younger that you wanted to follow his footsteps?
No, actually I didn't. You know what? When I was younger, it was more like, I want to be a police officer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, right? That were the only three things we really knew, right? So it wasn't up until, honestly, after high school where I actually gave it some serious thought, right? As I'm growing older, like, what am I doing with my life, right? I need to do something. I want to do something I enjoy.
Yeah. And does your dad love cars, or does he have a mechanic background?
My dad has a mechanic background. He loves cars. Yeah, he's loved cars since he was this young, right? But the thing is, when you work on cars 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, the last thing you really want to do is go home to a car, right? So he kind of phased out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you saw that, his kind of, he was kind of going down in the sense that he was, wanting to take a step back, and you thought, well, I can either go and pursue my own careers or in my own passion, or this is your passion, but your own stuff, or you're like, I can, help fill in with him or help along his way.
You know what? Yeah, you know what, Angelia? It was a lot of stress for him. Like, when you start building your business, when it's small, it's okay, one person can handle it. But as you build your business bigger and bigger, it really does get stressful for one person. And my dad was a secretary. My dad answered the phones. My dad dealt with customers. My dad washed cars, cleaned cars. My dad worked on cars, right? So you'd have 6 jobs, one guy'd be doing it, right? So this is where I'm a little bit more blessed, and I have my guys, Jesse and Bobby, and they're great. And they're like doing what my dad did.
Right.
So now we got 3 people doing what one guy was doing this whole time, right? So he got burnt out, and I could kind of see it. So I was like, you know what? Well, it's time for me to step in. I think I can do it. I kind of had that.
And are you happy that you have, or are you having any regrets?
You know what? I think it's the best decision I made.
Yeah.
I definitely love it. And the support from my customers, the support from my family, from my friends is unbelievable.
Great.
Yeah, so it's really made me grow. It's really made us as Overseas Autobody grow.
Okay, what What's the glamorous part of your job? Because there's lots of oil and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you guys have to do, but you get to work on things like this Dodge Viper here. What are some of the best cars or the most glamorous parts of your job are?
Oh, well, you know what? We've worked on a lot of high-end cars, and at overseas, I mean, all we do is, we believe in top quality and good work. So, I mean, we've worked on Bentleys. So we've got Bentleys in here. We've worked on Dodge Vipers. We've worked on high-end Mercedes, BMWs, everything you can imagine.
What is the nicest car you've ever drove?
Nicest car I've ever drove would be a Rolls Royce.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a Rolls Royce, yeah.
What kind of car do you drive?
What kind of car do I drive? It's this one you're sitting on right now.
You drive this Dodge Viper?
Dodge Viper, that's it.
Wow.
This one's mine.
That's fantastic. See, there's the perks of working in the car industry.
Exactly, you get to kind of get what you want, right?
Yeah. I work for television and I get to use this mic.
And you know what, this car is great, right? This car, I've done a lot of work with it, and it's awesome, I love it.
And you get to work on bikes as well.
Yeah, I get to work on bikes as well. Here, if you take a shot, that's one of my bikes right there.
Yeah. Do you ride that bike as well?
I do, but my parents don't approve of it, right? You know how they are, right? It's like, oh, don't get on that bike, right? But it's something that you definitely got to be careful with. It's not a toy. You got to go into it being mature, right? If you put a little kid on a bike, it's a dangerous thing, right? And the same goes with this car, right? So Angie, you just got to be really mature about it. Fast cars, it's not really good with teenagers either, right? Young kids, fast cars.
Yeah.
It's good for us, right? We get business out of it, right? Because they always end up in the ditches or something, but
yeah.
No.
You got to work your way up to the fast cars.
You do, definitely. It's hard work and determination, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning, and every day I learn something new. I don't go into this trade, or I don't go into work every day going, I know everything. Mm-hmm. I go into it like, what can I learn today? Okay,
so becoming a business owner or a co-business owner with your dad, what would you like Overseas Autobody to do in the next, let's say, 10 years from now?
In 10 years, to be honest, I definitely want to open up a couple more locations, and I want to go real corporate with Overseas Autobody, and I just want to make a chain out of it. Now, that being said, I don't want to rush on it, because at the end of the day, my customers mean everything to me, and quality means everything, and I want to do it right.
You're on to a good start, because today we're celebrating the grand opening of your Overseas Autobody in Abbotsford.
That's right, our second location in Abbotsford at 2342 Windsor Street.
Beautiful. And if you want to go, massive and corporate and have many Overseas Autobody, every good business has to have a mandate. So what is your mandate to the people? If you want to, tell them what you would want to give to them, to the community, Overseas Autobody giving to the community, what would that motto be?
With my guys in the back, every morning I tell my guys the same thing, and I write it on our walls, is do it the first time and do it right. And that's what I'm a strong believer of. And, I feel that, my staff in the back are awesome. And, I hire the top guys, but I hire the guys that, again, do it right and do it the first time right. So I'm really fortunate that way. My staff's awesome, but I want to let people know out there that my quality is like top, and I really, really stand by our quality, and we do give a lifetime guarantee. But the reason we've been able to grow so much and we've been able to come into the second location and the amount of support we have is because of the quality, right? Because it's one thing to drop off your vehicle, that's fine, but when you come to pick up your vehicle, what's going to keep that customer from coming back? You don't want that one-time customer, you want to build a relationship.
Okay, so I got top quality and a great team.
Exactly, and that's what Overseas Autobody is all about, right? It's not one person, like I said, it's a team of people.
Beautiful. Close Look has a similar mandate, so we want to thank you so much for supporting Close Look.
Anytime, thank you so much.
And where are the keys to your ride?
Right here, you can take it.
Thanks so much.
There you go.
Taking a little spin in the Dodge Viper, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.